Pay attention. The ferry leaves at 10 a.m. Roads are busy.
Great.
Dad, pack the boot.
Yeah.
Rosie, got your teddy?
Uh-huh.
Honey, how's the car?
Windows clean, car wax
I meant the tyres.
Oh, sorted them at Quick Fit last week.
Brilliant.
Planning the perfect getaway this summer? Make sure your tyres are up for the job. Book today at quickfit.com or your local centre. Quick Fit. Drive away happy every time.
Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
a General Hospital fan podcast.
Hello. Hi.
Welcome to the General Hospital recap for June 16th through 20th, 2025. Just a heads up, we're having some slight technical difficulties. We think we got it figured out, but Pittsburgh, it's been crazy weather lately, and so I don't know what the heck is going on. Actually, it all strings into our Port Charles pipeline, so we can kind of just get started with that. The only email we received this week is with the subject, Karen Reed. It's our girl, Christina. I love this. Hi there. It's your friend Christina from Boston with the dad that says to hold your breath in the tunnel that goes to the Logan Airport. I enjoyed hearing about Shannon's recent trip to Boston this week. I actually live in Dedham, where that's where the Karen Reed trial is going on. That's where the courthouse was. I live about 5 minutes from the courthouse and think of Shannon every time I drive by. I love you, Christina. Thank you. And this was Wednesday. This morning I was driving by the courthouse as I was listening to her Boston trip recap. Haha. See the attached video. Oh, I forgot to. Last Friday, there was also a massive Flag Day parade that runs through the entire town. So I'm glad there wasn't a verdict that day. You would have had a heck of a time getting in and out of here. Haha. So she took a video of it raining like outside the courthouse and listening to us. And it's on. Like she scanned her, the infotainment system.
Okay.
And it showed us because I'm like, why do I hear my own voice? Because she was listening to our show. I wasn't putting that together. Listen, guys, it is almost 10:30 on Friday night. Somehow we have still figured out how to make this work with both of our lives being just like absolutely bonkers. It's really just been the past year that it's been way more.
It's been crazy.
Flexible. But we have gotten it together, but I'm tired. Yeah. So, okay, I'm going to do mini reality check early. So Wednesday was the day that the verdict came in. So my friend Maureen was off on Tuesday and she spent the whole day at the courthouse and we didn't get a verdict. We got it Wednesday. Erica and I have dedicated days worth of hours, easily, possibly months worth of hours.
Oh my gosh.
So at first it comes in, verdict. Oh, sorry, we lied. We don't have a verdict. So then it comes back.
I didn't know they did that.
Oh, that was fun. So then it comes back. Oh, but the other thing is I actually put it together because Erica was at the store and she had her earbud in. And she's like, oh my gosh, like she was ready to drop her stuff and get home. So she's like, there is no way that we have watched or listened to and talked about this like every single day for the past year and a half. And we're not going to be together while we watch, like while the verdict comes in. No, that's not happening. So it didn't happen. And she texts me at 2:31. Seems fishy. So there's a time, it's 2:27 a.m. is a significant time in the whole trial. I think that's when they declared that there was not a verdict. Was it 2:27 in the afternoon? I don't know if they knew that. And I could be completely wrong because I don't know how to go back and check that really, but just looking at the fact that Erica texts me at 2:31, I'm like, oh my gosh, did they say no verdict at 2:27? But anyway, so they come back not even an hour later and say, we do have one. So Erica's home and our internet goes down.
Oh no.
I stream like we haven't had cable in 12 or 13 years. Right. So we're trying to pull it up on our phones. Nothing is working.
Oh,
and we're like, there is absolutely no way. And you know how much I hate notifications. Like I have them turned off on my phone, except for like texts silently come through, everything. So I called JD and it takes a while for his phone to pick up. So I'm like, okay, something is going on with our service right now. We thought that it was just we broke court TV. Like we broke YouTube, we broke the internet, happens,
Right.
whatever. We went around shutting off everything. We're like, make sure that everything that is using the internet. I kicked my daughter off of her laptop.
Oh, my
I told her, she knew that the verdict was coming in. So I have my phone open and like JD's on speakerphone as I'm talking to him because I'm trying to like, still reconnect. And I had notifications on for a Boston news app.
Oh,
So
no.
that if I was doing something and the verdict came in, it would pop up verdict in and I knew to do. Yeah. So I saw all it said was not guilty. And I'm like, oh, and I mean, you know me, I am really, I can't hide. I can't hide my emotions. And I felt so bad. Like I went out to Erica. I was like, oh my gosh. But we still watched it. But so we were able to reconnect. It took us about 10 minutes and we split a little bottle of champagne and toasted to her. She was found not guilty on the murder. The only thing she was found guilty on is because she admitted that she was drinking while she was driving. And so they call it an OUI, operating under the influence. So she got that. But I don't know what I'm going to do with my life now.
I'm very happy for you.
Listen, when the Netflix series comes out, because there has to be one, you are going to understand.
I will, and I'll watch that nice shortened version and be happy with that. Unlike you.
No, you're going to have so many questions. You're going to have so many questions. There's no way that they could do it justice. But thank you so much for sending me the Taylor Swift, or the guy who was using a Taylor Swift song as a parody. Because I even told you, I was like, that's like a millionth of the craziness that happened in this trial.
Yes, it was very funny. It popped up on my Facebook like a recommended video and I just started laughing. Like my phone is definitely listening to what we're talking about because I have not looked up anything to do with this trial and yet here's this man singing to me about the evidence.
Well, because I think that I sent you one TikTok and I was like, here's a brief overview of what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Because so at the end of the day, multiple experts said like there was no collision. So therefore she could not have hit him with her car.
Right.
Like,
I mean,
he didn't have any broken bones. He didn't have bruises, like none of it. And I mean, so that's just the tip of the iceberg. Now they can actually go find out actually what happened to him. So we're not completely done.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Oh, it will be. It will be. I'm not done yet.
Glad that you have our listeners just as obsessed as you are with your court TV.
And I'm sure that she's happy that it's over.
I'm sure.
I can't even imagine what that must be like.
It would be so annoying just trying to drive through town, I'm sure. Like, can you make a verdict already? You're holding up my traffic lights.
Right. Exactly. Well, they had to keep them off the roads and everything, but still. Do we want to at least touch on Kin?
You can. I mean, it's sad.
Yeah. And then, I mean, we kind of have a bit of a bummer and we're not, it just doesn't make sense, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
Ken Schreiner shared a picture this week on his Instagram set to the song of Billy Joel's Say Goodbye to Hollywood. And it says, "The day comes for all actors on soaps. I say good luck to whoever this is. I had a great run. Thanks, General Hospital ABC fans, for decades of support. I will wash this down with a martini and forge on." And for me, the saddest part is, so he took a picture of the nameplate that is what I'm assuming was his dressing room. And it now says Jens Austin Astrup, and that's Kai. And so and he posted a few days ago a picture and he's like, yes, I've made it. And from what I have seen, I have not seen anyone being nasty on his post. So I really, really hope it stays that way because that's not fair. I mean, he's
right. Obviously, it was a dressing room that was not being occupied and they were not anticipating that actor coming back. And so, yeah, they have to assign it to someone else. And that's just how it works. And I'm sure as an actor starting out, seeing your name like officially claiming a dressing room, that's amazing. So you can't be anything but happy for him and understand his feelings. I'm absolutely positive he did not mean it as a slight.
Oh gosh, no. All it said was, the only thing he posted was 44. and like the picture of his nameplate.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's exciting. We don't get into the drama and all that stuff, but it was just such a out of nowhere. I mean, I guess it really shouldn't have been out of nowhere, but the fact that happened and Ken Schreiner saying that he's done, like, we don't have Scott Baldwin anymore.
Right. It just feels so weird.
That it doesn't make sense.
There's always been a place for Scotty. Like, even just having him come back and complicate Lucy's life. Like, come on.
It just doesn't make sense. And he's been around since almost the beginning.
Right.
We're just going to not have Scott Baldwin anymore. When Monica dies, we're not going to have. When Leslie dies.
Right.
He's not going to comfort Laura at all.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. So.
But at the same time, he'd come back for those occasions and he doesn't need an entire dressing room with his name on it for that. Like, I'm sure they'll make those accommodations when the time comes.
That's true.
So.
It's just a real bummer.
Yeah.
But on a good note, Vinny's doing his Sudsy Awards again.
Yes.
So our buddy Vinny is doing the Sudsy Awards, and we just have not been able to get it together the past couple years. And this year he offered for us to pre-record because
which is awesome. Yeah,
I know. Thank you so much, Vinny. Let me see if I can find the link for voting. It's suds-media.com/Sudsy, SUDSY voting. I'll put it in our show notes and try to figure out. I'm sure that he's posted it on social media and we'll share that and everything. So you can go on and vote for. So he does a soap opera and wrestling podcast. So if you're into one or the other or both, you can vote for whatever the heck you feel like it.
There you go.
Yep. And I guess they're separate this year, like soaps from wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
It is so funny how often those two things cross paths, though. Like how many people are into both whenever I would have never realized the connection before.
Yeah. All right. So I think that's it. This upcoming Port Charles 411, we are continuing Lucky and Liz. Last week we left off where Sam and Liz were kidnapped by the text message killer, and now they're on the edge of a bridge. Amanda, I watched this.
Oh, wow.
The number of times that this car should have flipped over. I'm going to send it to you because I
will watch, but yeah,
it's only a few minutes.
We were talking about how they're maneuvering to get Sam out as it's hanging over the cliff.
Yeah. Well, not to give too much away, but we're going to continue talking about it. And we know that Sam just died this past year. So guess what, guys? She made it out of the car. Sam, she's never died and come back yet.
Right.
So never say never. But Jason jumped on the car and kicked out that window.
You know that show Mythbusters that we've talked about before? Like, can we have them reenact this for us?
Seriously, I'm going to write Adam Savage. Dear Adam.
Tell me how probable it is that this car would not have fallen after this much pressure was put on it where a grown man jumps on it.
Yep.
Oh,
so crazy. And do we want to announce what we're doing next month in case anyone else wants to go?
Do we have to share him?
No, I already called dibs, so they can just back off.
I feel like if we don't tell anyone, then maybe no one else saw it and no one else will show up.
So we're going to take a little bit of a road trip on July 15th. There is an evening with Claire Bowen and Jonathan Jackson, Songs and Stories from Music City. If you did not watch the show Nashville, you're not going to know who she is. But if you did, Scarlett.
Yep.
They are doing a show, and July 15th, it's going to be in Pottstown, PA, which is about 4 hours away from us, and we're going to do a little road trip.
I'm so excited.
Me too. If you go to her Instagram or her page, like that's where the link is. So her Instagram handle is Claire, ClareMBee. And she has the link and everything in her bio. But yeah, we're going to do that. And I don't know what's going to happen. I couldn't handle meeting Maurice Bernard. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to be like, I have loved you since I was 12.
And he's going to be like, yeah, I've heard that a few hundred times. So
Exactly. But yes. So it's going to be good. I think it'll be good. And we also both like that music. So I think that that's going to be even better.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's going to be a fun time. And I guess it would be nice to have some of our listeners there. Although, like I said, maybe if everyone keeps it hush hush, we could be the only 2 people.
Yes, because we are doing the VIP tickets. If we are driving 4 hours, we are getting VIP.
Absolutely. Well, that price difference didn't really make any sense.
No, totally worth it.
Yeah. So,
okay.
I can't wait. We're going to have so much fun.
We are. It's going to be a good time. All right. So with that, we need to get started on this week's episodes for Hulu headlines. Oh, I think that we totally forgot. We went totally off subject with the Lucky and Liz thing.
Yeah.
Basically, it's just Lucky and Liz, or yeah, they save Sam and Liz, and stuff happens with Jason. That's what's happening this upcoming week.
That's a great recap.
Sorry, I got sidetracked with the. I know.
Just saying Jonathan's name. Yep, I got it.
Guys, just watch. And this was still a Greg Vaughn year, so it's the next to last episode, I believe, of Greg Vaughn. So.
Okay.
Oh, I remember what it was. I told you that I watched it, and then we kind of scrolled from there. All right, so let's scroll on Hulu headlines before we scroll the rest of the week. On Monday, Jason is a thorn in Drew's side. Carly shows her appreciation to Brennan. Lulu offers an apology. Tracy meets with Martin. Gio is troubled by what he overhears. On Tuesday, Sasha is alarmed. Curtis makes Michael an offer. Emma gets the upper hand. Jocelyn pitches an idea to Vaughn. Lulu is pleasantly surprised. On Wednesday, Elizabeth makes a revelation. She can really book the Port Charles Grill. Willow faces a major decision. Michael and Sasha have a frank talk. Trina and Kai get big news, and Curtis rebuffs Portia. On Thursday, Sonny wants answers from Sidwell. Lulu and Isaiah meet for drinks. Michael catches up with Jason. Jordan opens up to Anna, and Marco is conflicted. And then on Friday, Emma and Gio have a memorable encounter. Ava offers counsel to Nina. Christina warns Michael. Willow makes an announcement, and Tracy feels cornered. So where do you want to start?
I wasn't as excited for this week as I was for last week. I feel like it wasn't as invested. But I felt bad for Kai. That was what stood out to me this week. I felt bad for Kai because he went and had his follow-up appointment to see how everything went with his surgery, and the doctor told him that although it definitely strengthened his back and was good for his overall health, that it had not fused, his bone hadn't fused to the steel, so he would not be able to play any contact sports whatsoever, and that he could do other physical activity like swimming or whatever, but no contact sports. And so Kai's little heart was broken. And I loved Trina standing out to the
I love her.
Documentary guy. She was like, get the camera out of his face before I throw that camera out the window, and you right after it. And she was just the best protective girlfriend, which is what Kai needed in that moment, because he was obviously upset to hear that news.
Yes.
So I love Trina. That's not surprising. And then, of course, Drew had to ruin it because Kai was trying to be a nice guy and went to Drew to thank him for the surgery and apologize that, not that he could have done anything about it, but apologize that it didn't take, and ask that the documentary not be shown because it wasn't some inspirational story and whatever. And Drew was like, oh, that's fine. And then offered him an internship.
Right, as his congressional intern. And I'm really trying to figure out what his angle is with Kai, because he was like, you're exactly the kind of person that I need doing this. You don't know him.
Right, exactly. You've seen him, like he was the star football kid. Okay, we got that. But I don't understand how that translates into stuff for Congress. Like, if he would have assigned him a position to deal with the pediatric wing, I would have 100% been with that because, like, he
Yes.
gave that speech and, let's motivate the kids, even if their future isn't what they originally thought it was. Like, excuse me, show that Kai is moving forward with his future and making other plans and that it's not the end of the world just because of this injury. All that kind of inspirational stuff would be wonderful for the pediatric unit. But what it has to do with Congress stuff, I don't understand.
No, not at all. And I think Trina's hesitant, and then they kind of got in a little bit of a disagreement, and I'm really proud of her because she backed off.
She did.
I would not have.
Well, I liked what she said to Ava because she was talking to Ava about it, and Ava asked like if everything was okay, and she was like, well, one of the reasons that I love Kai is because he is his own person and he does what he thinks is right. I don't love him because I can tell him what to do and he listens. And I was like, yeah, that's it's good to have respect for each other, even though sometimes it feels like it would be easier to be like, just do what I told you to do and everything will be fine. So,
but also at the same time, was she just trying to not hear what he had to say about Portia and Curtis too?
Well, that's true. I mean, that definitely plays a part in it, but she's just going to have to see that unfold however it unfolds. So, I mean, no news to anyone that I'm over Portia. And she was trying to cuddle up to Curtis again this week with making excuses and trying to pretend like everything could just go back the way that it was. And he was like, yeah, no, I'm not ready for this, and backed away from her. And then she's accusing Jordan of trying to like snake her way in whenever she was the one who was snaking her way in whenever Jordan and him were breaking up.
And Jordan just walked in to see him.
Right.
Nothing was going on. It's not like Portia walked in on Jordan and Curtis talking and was like, why are you guys so close? Jordan came to talk to the publisher, the CEO of the video company. So like Sidwell's CFO, is she the CFO for Sidwell?
Yeah.
Or COO, whatever C she is. So like and she knows that there's a lot of stuff going on with all of that too. So it's like for her to just automatically jump to that with Jordan, because then Portia talked to Jordan and Anna talked, and Jordan and Anna was like, so when Robert got with Holly, I tried and it might not have been the best idea. So not saying that's what you're doing, but
I mean,
here's my experience.
Right. I'm proud of Jordan for like talking herself through the what if, like, let's be prepared for this. But I think that their relationship is still different. Like, she did put the boundaries in place because whenever he first started talking to her about Portia, she was like, no, it's not appropriate to talk to your ex-wife about your new wife. Like, I can listen to you talk about any business related stuff or any other relationships, but I can't defend you or Portia. That's your own personal life or whatever. But also, we've seen that there is still a connection between Jordan and Curtis over and over again. And even he said it whenever he was talking to Marshall 2 weeks ago or whatever about how he feels bad that he broke up his relationship with Jordan over a lie that was in regards to work. And here Portia is lying about everything and he's sticking by her. It's not Portia's. Right. It's not Jordan's fault that Portia's feeling threatened. It's Portia's fault for creating all of this drama. So, I mean, I liked that Portia or that Jordan was talking to Anna, like I said, to kind of walk through her feelings. But I feel like unless Jordan like showed up at his office wearing nothing but a raincoat or something, she's not overstepping. Like, I feel like she would wait for their relationship to honestly end. And then if her and Curtis rekindled something, that's fine.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I think she'd have that respect either way. So even though I could understand her being tempted to not, since Portia didn't.
Agreed. And I know you're over Portia. I'm over Portia. We're all over Portia.
Right?
Well, because what else did she do this week with, she came to his office. Oh, so before Portia came to his office, Curtis had tried to resign from Aurora because he told Michael that he was allowing Drew to blackmail him and his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And Michael ripped up that resignation and was like, nope, I'm not accepting it. You need to do what you need to do to protect your family at any cost. And I have your back the whole way. And then Portia comes and I was like, honey.
Yes.
Hey, babe. Can you so Drew just came to see me again.
Right.
Can you? And Curtis is like, oh, I'll write a story in support of Drew. And she's like, oh my gosh, thanks.
Yeah. She's just so fake. I feel like if you were dumb enough to do something to jeopardize your job and someone was continuing to blackmail you so that you felt uncertain day to day pretty much at this point if you were going to have a job moving forward, wouldn't you come up with some other plan, like I'm going to resign from the hospital and take on a different position or something? I know that it's her medical license that would be in jeopardy, but there is still a difference between a lot of other things she could pursue with her medical license and being the chief of staff or co-chief of staff.
Well, and also I feel like they should maybe be taking a look at their finances and preparing for that a little bit because
Right.
Let's not worry so much about the back and forth blackmail as we are. What are we going to do?
And just realistically, do you want to live that blackmail for the rest of your life? Like, you know that Drew's not going to give up. So are you really going to deal with that forever?
Right.
Or should you be coming up with a different plan? And it shouldn't be Curtis who has to sacrifice because he's not the one that made the mistake. It should be Portia.
Right.
But just another reason I don't like her because, again, she just goes to him to solve her problems. He can take the fall. And she's just going to stand there and be like, oh, I didn't mean to. I didn't realize it was going to get so bad.
I was just protecting Trina, even though this has nothing to do with her.
Right.
I was just doing what I needed to do for my family.
Mm-hmm. I would love for Trina to find out and be like, wait, you did what? Like, no, I have no respect for you. That not only did you break the law, try to keep someone who shouldn't have still been in prison based off the cobalt poisoning levels. And then you had my dad being blackmailed to write all this stuff that he wouldn't normally write. Like, I have no respect for you at this point.
Well, I think what's going to happen is that she and Kai are going to get in a first actual fight over this. And Trina's going to wind up talking to Portia about it. And she's going to be able to read Portia and realize, oh, you're lying to me.
Right.
Kai's right. And then it is going to ruin her relationship because, okay, can we just talk about what a great friend Ava is when she is not cutting babies out of people?
I agree. Like,
she is so good to Trina. She was so concerned for Nina.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she was crying for her. And I'm like, I cry for my friends, like when they're going through hard stuff. You know, it's like, I cry with you. We all know this. I cry over everything, but I do cry with people.
Right.
But, it's not going to be good.
No. And all the people that Portia has an issue with, like Ava, are going to be the people that stand there for Trina when everything's crumbling. So she's going to push her away even more because you know she's not going to be smart enough to not talk crap on these other people. And Trina, even more so, is going to be like, yeah, but at least they've been here for me and they haven't lied to me, so I'll stick with them.
Portia's going to throw Ava under the bus for connecting Portia and Nina.
Oh, you're right.
And she's going to say, I would not have even thought about this if Ava hadn't suggested that Nina and I team up.
That is true.
Dang it.
Yeah. No, why'd you have to go there? I don't like that.
I don't either.
You're right. She is. She's going to have to take everybody down with her. She's not going to just accept responsibility.
No. Although, okay, so now we have a flaw in the Drew is Shiloh because if Portia microdosed him off his medical records, it would be Drew.
That's true.
I mean, I'm sure that similar body type. But I mean, she went back to the day that he arrived in Port Charles and got his first whatever, like his first scan. Like that's how far back she had Brad.
Unless it comes out later that she based it off of the Drew statistics, and the amount that she gave him wouldn't have caused that level of crazy. Like maybe she just wanted him being reckless, but not like being reckless. And
but
so
the reason why he was so okay.
Yeah, because Shiloh, not that he was a small guy by any means, but he wasn't quite as bulky as Drew is. So maybe the reason that it hit him so hard.
I like that you just said he's bulky. Meanwhile, the guy's a string bean.
He's like he has like a chest, like he's bulky.
Drew's taller. So did Shiloh, but Drew's taller, I think. Yeah,
I think so.
I knew where you were going with it, but I'm like, I would never say.
I'm not looking at their stats to know for sure, but the way I perceive them from watching them on TV, Drew is just like, I don't know, like stockier.
Athletic?
Is that a better word? Sure. Except for I wouldn't say that Shiloh wasn't athletic, because Shiloh had some muscle.
Right, but so does Drew.
Yeah. I feel like Drew would need a higher dose. Does that cover my statement without insulting anyone? Because I'm not trying to insult anyone.
I know that you're not trying to insult anyone.
They're very attractive men. I would be more than happy to witness them working out at the gym with their shirt off. And no disrespect to either one of them. I just feel like Drew would need a higher concentration than Shiloh would have.
Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that.
So yeah, that could be why he
it went so extreme.
Same time, his body, like if it was a Shiloh taking over his brain, like the brain mapping stuff or something like that, that got Shiloh into Drew's body, it would still be the same body mass. So
I don't think that's what they're doing. I think that it's probably going to be Shiloh, but he got plastic surgery or something.
Okay.
And Drew's really locked away somewhere. It happened in Pentonville.
Yeah.
Something like that.
That would make sense. I would be okay with that. They need some type of drastic explanation, because the fact that Drew is just so ridiculous. Like, she's bawling her eyes out that she lost her kids, and he's like, I talked to one attorney. They said this might work, so let's go get married. And she's like, oh, okay. She did question him for a second. Like, you were the reason I lost my kids. I'm not sure that marrying you would be the best option. And he's like, oh, well, Martin said it would. So here, talk to Martin and he'll reiterate exactly what I told him to say to you. And then you can tell me, yeah, you'll marry me.
But here's the thing, too, is that she even said, well, that's what I did with Michael. So do you think that the judge is not going to pick up on your marriage record and be like, well, why did you marry Michael? Well, why did you marry Chase?
Right.
Because she married Chase when she thought he was dying.
Mm-hmm.
So does she really value marriage? The judge is not going to, and I'm not saying she doesn't. I mean, I think that we all know that she truly loved Michael, and that's why they got married. But in her head right now, she never loved Michael. And the only reason they got together was because the kids. And we all know that that's not true.
Right. The first time that they got married was so that they could get custody of Wiley. But after that, like, they were married again for real. And that was all based on love.
Exactly. So she needs to remember that. And somebody needs to be reminding her of that, because who was it? Was it? I feel like it was Sonny and somebody else talking about Willow and about how they're just so surprised at this whole change in personality with her, because it might have been last week too. I can't remember.
I know Jason and him talked about it a little bit, because they were talking about why Michael was okay telling Sasha that she could have control over Daisy, but that he needed to take custody of Willow's kids. And him and Jason were just both agreeing that she wasn't in the best place, and that she wasn't healthy enough to take care of them the way that they deserved, and she wasn't putting them first and stuff. But I don't know. I mean, I just don't understand. From a whole stability point, I feel that jumping from one marriage to the next does not show that you're a stable person. We saw, depending on how you look at it, fortunately or unfortunately, you can get out of a marriage pretty quickly. So just because you sign that piece of paper does not mean that 2 weeks from now you're not going to sign the other piece of paper and be done with it. So why would a judge think that holds any water in this case or in any case? But I was confused because then we see, after they're talking about how Michael got such custody, because I think even, was it Jason? Who was it that said they've never seen a custody case where some visitation wasn't already discussed as far as what the other parent was going to get?
I thought they said specifically that it was in such favor of the father. Not like Michael didn't deserve it, but that it was so much in favor of the father. Like it wasn't even...
It was so much in favor, but somebody brought up this week that they've never seen a case that they didn't at least discuss some type of visitation, like even if it would have been supervised visitation. The fact that Willow has nothing at this point was odd. And then they cut to...
it might have been Sonny and Jason. Was that part of what they were?
Maybe. I can't remember who said it, but anyway, it was kind of just like, oh, that like suddenly dawns on everyone. And then it cuts to Sidwell and the judge and him talking about how she'd get the rest of her money and, thanks for ruling that way or whatever. I just don't understand why Sidwell cares. Is it going to be that he did set the bomb for Sonny's house and he feels bad that Michael's the one that got caught in it instead of Sonny?
Oh, okay.
Can he have a smidge of a conscience to be like, well, at least I'll give this guy his kids back since he lost so much time with them recovering from the fire I caused?
Well, Sidwell talked to Sonny about how he wants his Piers because he's had power in Port Charles long enough and he doesn't want him to have it anymore. Maybe that'll be his, Michael got custody of his kids because of me.
Yeah, but I don't understand that power play, like doing it before you tell the other person. Do you know what I mean? Like if I did something that was definitely benefiting you and I was going to blackmail you with it, I would like tell you as I was doing it, like, you better be nice to me or your kid's not going to get custody of your grandkids, and then go ahead and let him get custody and be like, see, I did all that. Don't make me mad.
Yeah, but now he really put Sonny in a position where it's done. And what's he going to do?
I guess so.
Sonny wouldn't have given up the Piers because he also could have bought off the judge. Let's be real.
Right.
So if he wanted to do it, he would have. And if Sidwell had gone to him ahead of time and said, I'm going to do this for you, then Sonny would have been like, I'll just go do it myself. Thanks. Bye.
Right. And I feel like that's the position that Sonny would be in now, though, still. Like, if you threatened to have the verdict changed, okay, so I'm going to go to the judge and say, oh, is he paying you $1 million? I'll give you $1.5 million. Like,
right.
Why wouldn't I just undercut you to get the answer that I want?
That's true. I don't know. I didn't understand all of that. I didn't understand, I guess, why did I think Natalia was not going to testify against Sonny? Did I miss that last week? Because we saw Marco making a phone call saying that if his mother was going to testify against Sonny, he needs like the assurances in writing. And I thought that Sonny was sending her to Belize so that she didn't have to testify against him.
Maybe she didn't tell her son that because she doesn't want him to lose respect for her. So they just haven't had the conversation yet. Because, I mean, Sonny was thanking her for not throwing him under the bus and not giving out this information. So why?
Right.
Her son thinks that she is going to testify. I'm not sure.
Okay, so I didn't miss something because I'm like, when did that happen?
No, or so I missed it with you. So
well, we found out that what he's really doing for Brook Lynn is digging up info on when Britt stole the embryos. What is she? Is she trying to prove that Lulu's possibly not Rocco's mom?
I don't know. I don't understand how that would even work, because weren't the embryos, like, they were already put together, for lack of a better word, right? Like we had Lulu's egg, we had Dante's sperm, we put them together and then we froze them. It's not like Britt injected herself with the egg and then went and hooked up with 10 different guys, and maybe one of them is the dad. You know what I mean? And even if she did, we know that she didn't hook up with Dante, and they are saying that Rocco's Dante's son, so it has to be Lulu's son.
But then also they wound up having to do all the paternity tests because they had to prove that he was theirs, right?
Right. That's what I'm thinking is even if they wanted to start to say it was a situation like Maxie, where they implanted the egg into her and then she ended up ovulating on her own and getting pregnant with her own egg, it still wouldn't have been Dante's baby then.
Right.
Like, she didn't do an IUI and have Dante's stuff floating around in her. It was already put in that one egg, creating one baby. So there's no way that Britt and Dante would make a baby unless they hooked up during that time, and they didn't.
No.
So I'm not sure what they're trying to prove.
She told Marco she's trying to prove that Lulu's not half the mother that she says she is. And Maxie, poor Maxie,
right?
Really. I mean, she should have known better, though, to be perfectly honest, because last week we ended the week and she had Brook Lynn come over to her house to work, and Lulu showed up. And that's when Lulu told Brook Lynn she was sorry about what happened to Gio, but she doesn't owe her any kind of an apology because all of this is actually your fault because of all your lies. And Brook Lynn's like, you could have been decent and just had a little bit of accountability and realized that what you did was wrong, and good for Brook Lynn for not throwing it in her face. Like, I mean, she said it. You of all people really should understand the decision I had to make.
Right, exactly. I was proud of Brook Lynn for not throwing the low blows, but I don't know that I could have been that good of a person because, as she keeps saying to Brook Lynn, like, oh yeah, you just like gave your baby away, like it was no big deal. I don't understand how Brook Lynn doesn't make a nasty comment back about, yeah, I didn't, take the same route as you did and say something snide about that.
Right, because she wouldn't. And it occurred to me when Lulu said, so fast forward, Brook Lynn's at the Quartermains. Oh, okay. Let's finish that real quick though, because Brook Lynn, and the thing is, Brook Lynn has been so geo-focused. None of this, she acknowledges that her heart is broken, but her main concern this whole time has been, look what just happened to Gio.
Right.
And then Lulu says, when she realized that it was Gio, she couldn't stay quiet. Maybe she should have gone to Brook Lynn then and said, do you know that I think that Gio is your son? No, instead she goes to Lois at the nurse's ball and all that stuff. And then Brook Lynn's trying to just explain her hurt. And Lulu's just like digging in. And then Brook Lynn hit her. And Maxie's like, okay, you need to go home. And Lulu starts flipping. And Maxie's like, she shouldn't have hit you, but you were wrong.
Right, exactly. But we did get to see Lulu apologize to Gio this week, and so that was at least halfway decent. she gets a half a point for acknowledging that she hurt him, and
But then he says she doesn't owe him an apology.
Yeah,
she did kind of try to say that, and she did say Brook Lynn made a difficult decision.
Yeah,
but the damage is done, Right. And my question is, she says that she would never lie to her children. Do they know she had an abortion?
Right.
Because this is what I was going with, is that Brook Lynn went to the Quartermains and Rocco showed up to get his mitt because they're getting ready for the softball games. And he was really sweet and nice.
He was.
But then told Brook Lynn, this is your fault. And Brook Lynn was very nice back and was like, okay, there was a lot of decisions made. Like, she didn't try to make excuses, but she also wasn't really having a conversation with someone that doesn't need to be part of this conversation right now.
Right.
Maybe one day, but they'll figure it out. I feel like they left on good terms, that she was like, listen, this is a complicated situation. I understand that you're mad about it.
Right.
That's kind of it.
Yeah. I think that they need to figure their feelings out in time. Like, nothing's going to be decided right this minute. They need to take everyone's like where they were in their life at those times into account. And then the boys will start to understand because they are practically those same ages, give or take a few years. Like,
Exactly.
it's not hard to say to them, what do you think you would do if you ended up in this situation tomorrow? Like,
right.
Think it through. But then we see Gio throwing the ball around with Emma, and Sonny comes up and is like, hey, do you want to play on my team? And he points out that he doesn't like people on every single one of the teams that Corinthos Coffee is playing, and so he doesn't think that he should be part of the game. And then he said it like in a hostile way that he didn't get to play ball that much as a child because they were afraid that he was going to hurt his hand and then he wouldn't be able to play the violin. And I thought,
Yep.
I don't feel like that was wrong. Like, if that's your career, you protect your hands. You don't want to break your fingers playing some game of street ball. Like,
but also he should have been allowed to have been a kid if he wanted to go play. And this goes back to, remember when I said that the only thing that Brooke or Lois has really said about it wasn't just that you were 16, it was you were at the beginning of your career.
Yeah.
And it's, and I love Lois. We all know I love Lois. But does she just get that blind spot when it comes to what she sees could be their careers? I mean, I think Gio loves his music and, he's definitely not.
I think it kind of depends on when it happened. If it happened when he was like 6, then yeah, he should have been able to go play ball because there's, not 6-year-olds out there planning their careers for the rest of their life or whatever. But if he was 16, 17, wanting to play with his friends, like, yeah, man, don't go play out there and risk getting hurt whenever you do know that this is what you want your career to be.
But he could he could be in a car accident and the same thing would happen.
Yeah, but the chances aren't the same.
I don't know. I felt bad and I felt like, man, you should have been allowed to play. If that's if he wanted to play, he should have been allowed to play.
I just feel like we shouldn't get to go back and nitpick everything that Lois and her mom did with a negative thought because,
if it's just the pattern of them putting the music careers before the people.
Right. If it's a pattern, then absolutely look at it that way. But if we're just going to take random one-offs and be like, oh, they were controlling in my life when they didn't need to be, I don't feel like that's fair. I mean, there's kids in my neighborhood. They're not my kids. But if I saw them doing something that I thought was going to hurt, I mean, I say it to Madeline all the time whenever, I know she is mine, obviously, but whenever she's outside, riding her skateboard or whatever, trying new tricks, I'm like, just be careful because, you break your leg, you're going to be out of comp season for the year or whatever. And so, yeah, if he had a concert coming up that he was excited for and he wanted to play baseball, you kind of got to protect him to not end up with a hurt hand.
But you give Madeline the choice. You remind her that that's a consequence. It sounds like he was not even given that opportunity. It was, I wasn't allowed to. Because
I mean, I guess it does depend on how it was said. I thought of it more as like I didn't want to disappoint them, so I'd sneak out to do it here and there. But
why would he sneak out? Because he wasn't allowed to.
He could sneak out just because he didn't want them to know because they'd be disappointed. Not that they would have said no, but I don't know what the circumstances are. I agree that what they did is wrong, obviously, but I also don't want him going back nitpicking things that could have just been normal concern or respect for his mom,
Well, except for thanks to Lulu, he realized he doesn't know his birthday.
Yeah, that was awful.
Like she had to say that,
right?
She just doesn't think,
right? And she even said that she was like, sometimes I just get ahead of myself.
Well, for being a journalist,
right? Well, for being an adult, like that's not an excuse to a child.
Well, for being an adult in general, let alone a journalist, you're supposed to ask the questions to get to the answer, not just give the information. Like, I understand he asked her the question, what made you start looking? But I mean, I guess it's fair enough to assume that it's fair for her to have assumed that he would have had his birthday, that they would not have lied to him about that. So I'll give her a splash of grace. But I don't like it. I don't like that.
Pay attention. The ferry leaves at 10 a.m. Roads are busy.
Great.
Dad, pack the boot. Suitcases, Tetris style.
Yeah.
Rosie, got your teddy? No going back this time. Honey, how's the car?
Windows clean, car wax, carpets.
I meant the tyres.
Oh, sorted them at Quick Fit last week.
Brilliant. If things go to plan, it'll be smooth sailing.
Planning the perfect getaway this summer? Make sure your tyres are up for the job. Book today at quickfit.com or your local centre. Quick Fit. Drive away happy every time.
Oh, Anna, awesome job. Great job, Anna.
Yes.
Locking Chase and Dante up. And Dante is like, you lied to me, man. I stood up for you at your wedding and you couldn't even tell me about this. And he's like, dude, didn't know it was Gio. You know who knew the whole truth the whole time about the fact that he slept with his best friend's wife?
Yep.
Oh, would that be Dante? And he never told him that.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it happened when you were a kid.
Right.
If you're going to be that mad at Chase, how about you be owning up to the fact that you never told your best friend, by the way, slept with your wife?
Right. Exactly.
We were kids. And that's the thing. We were kids. It happened. It happened one summer. It happened one time. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Chase is amazing.
He is. I love Chase.
But I also feel like he had a very real reaction because he's doing a really good job of, and I do feel like people would really react that way where you could see the hurt and the anger and he just wanted to punch him after Dante said, you're not a dad.
Right. That was disappointing.
But he also used his cop skills, his job or his detective skills to be like, okay, this person is saying this right now out of a different emotion than they typically would have.
Right.
So, yeah. We kind of just jumped all over the place. But yeah, so I guess, did they work it out? Is that where we ended?
I don't think that they're ever going to be like best buds, or not for a while anyway, but they seem to have figured it out because, they're talking about playing the softball game. And so I'm assuming they're going to be on the same team. Dante's obviously going to be on the PCPD. So I would assume that Chase is also playing.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know what they're doing with the DA or whatever she is, though. What is she?
She's the...
Is she
she's the interim. She's the interim DA while Robert's away, but she's going for his job.
Yes. That was just weird. Like, she shows up at the game and is like, hey, Anna, where do I sign up? And Anna's like, what are you doing? Why are you here? And she's like, I want to be on the game. Like, I want to be on the team too. I heard it's a great networking opportunity. And Anna was like, oh, okay, that explains it. And then you see her with Sonny. And Sonny was nothing but wonderful and like making jokes with her and fine, whatever. But it was just weird. Like,
well, because she got snippy with him. She's like, it's 2025 and you're really telling a woman to smile. He's like, I was complimenting your mom on her investment, which I took to mean braces because that's what I tell people all the time. When they tell me I have a nice smile, I'm like, thanks. My parents paid a lot for it.
Yeah, she just said that she wasn't allowed, case in point, she wasn't allowed to play softball because she had braces and then she got her braces off. And her mom was like, no, I didn't spend all that money for no reason.
Right.
So,
which that's kind of ridiculous too. Whatever. I don't want to sound like I'm being a judgy parent. I feel like I am right now, though. Like, my son broke his tooth playing with his cousins, and we're still dealing with it. And he was 5. It'll be finally done next week.
Yeah.
But it's anything can happen at any time, and that's what they make mouth guards for.
Right. You do have to let kids be kids. But yeah, or
else they grow up to be corrupt DAs.
Is that the lesson here?
That is the lesson. Let your kids play softball if you want them to not be corrupt. Really, it is. Oh, no, because Gio even joked. He's like, well, what do I have now? I can go to a life of crime.
I don't understand. Like, yes, networking, sure. You're the queen of networking. That's a great opportunity to meet new people. But I feel like just one day of games, you're not going to get very far if you're trying to become DA. Like,
and she did seem sincere, though. She seemed sincere with I just want to be part of the team. So like it was she had like a weird look on her face when she said it.
Yeah.
It almost looked like she had like tears in her eyes.
Yeah, I don't know what they're trying to do with her.
I don't know either. It'll be interesting, I guess. We'll see. What else?
Oh, Rick came to the hospital looking for Elizabeth, and Isaiah was like, "Oh, she took the day off because Lucky and Aiden left." And Rick got that look that he gets whenever he's talking about Liz. And Isaiah was like, "Wait, just so that we're clear here, Lucky's my friend, and I'm gonna be protective of Liz. So I don't know what you're thinking, but you better just like knock it off." So it was beautiful.
And then Liz called him out the second that he said,
"Right, I'm here to check on you." And she was like, "Nah, you think that Lucky's gone, and so you think you're gonna like jump right into his place? That's not happening." Besides the fact that he's with Ava, like, come on.
Yep. I don't know. And then Liz called Christina.
Oh yeah, that was good.
I loved it. Welcome back, Liz. I feel like we say this every now and again.
Mm-hmm.
But she's like, she's like, I was so mad when Lucky told me, but I understood why he didn't tell me, because then he could be charged as an accessory, but he did tell me and I was livid. And now he's out of the country.
Yep.
Out of the PCPD's jurisdiction.
Right.
And Christina's like, are you going to turn me in?
Yeah, but to that point, it's like Liz said no, she wasn't going to turn her in for all of those same reasons of just being a nice person. And then Christina's going to walk around town and say things like she did to Michael of like, oh, don't let your anger like control everything in your life, because then you make bad decisions, in this like weird way that Michael can't help but be like, what did you do? What is going on? You said that about something very specific. It was not just like a warning for all things. And I'm like, seriously, girl, are you going to walk around and start telling everybody what you did? Because that defeats the purpose of having people trying to protect you.
Right.
So frustrating.
Well, and she yelled at Cody for not seducing Ava correctly.
Right.
And poor Molly, she's just trying to finally let go and have some fun. She's wearing a dress. She's drinking a beer.
Mm-hmm.
She took it a step further than I have. I don't like beer.
It was like a
beer at the Sam Adams. But I did drink, I was going to say, I did drink the beer at Sam Adams Brewery because I was on the tour, and of course I was going to do it.
Right, exactly. But yeah, even Molly said exactly what we've been saying. Like, why is Cody talking to Ava whenever Ava is dating her dad?
Yeah. But also Ava was, it was sweet to see her talking about Kiki.
It was sweet. Except for I can't hear her talk about gambling and not think, oh yeah, that was whenever you got Morgan in over his head and then started hooking up with him, and so did Kiki, and that's just gross.
That is true, because she said something about how they both hustled.
Yeah.
And she's like, I was so proud of her.
Yeah, I can't hear that story and not think of how gross it was that you were hooking up with your daughter's boyfriend. Ugh.
Yeah. The captain.
Yeah.
Remember? Because Captain Morgan.
Yep.
So cheesy.
Yep.
So great at the same time. Did she call him captain, or did Kiki call him captain?
Kiki called him captain.
Okay.
So I guess it's more acceptable because she was like young then.
Yeah. Kind of bounced around all over the place. What else?
We did.
We're good at that.
Mm-hmm. We get the whole story eventually.
We do. Oh, I guess we could just stay at the pool with Emma coming in and seeing Dalton.
Yes.
Swimming, and Gio clocks it, and he's like, what are you doing? That's weird.
Yep, exactly. I felt like that whole situation was weird, though, because then we see Joss at Dalton's office, and in comes Emma, and so Joss and that guy start kissing and pretending like, oh, you know, they're messing around whenever she's on the clock or whatever. And so then Emma's like, okay, I won't tell Professor Dalton as long as you leave me in his office. Like, Joss wouldn't have said, okay, I'll give you 5 minutes while I stand guard. She just blatantly leaves her there so that Dalton can come back and find Emma going through his papers. And then
goes to the pool.
Yeah, and right. And Emma's like, oh, Joss had something to do, so she asked me to file your papers for you. Like, that's not going to do anything for either one of you, because if I was him, I would be changing the locks on my door and firing Joss.
Yep, in a heartbeat.
Like, regardless of what I did or didn't have in my office, if you're who I hired to do my filing, I don't want to walk in and find some other girl doing it, no matter how much she says she admires my work or likes me or whatever. And especially whenever Emma wasn't even like cool about it. She's like, I'd really like to see your lab. Can I see what's in your lab? And he's like, no, like confidential stuff.
Well, because Joss had asked the same thing. She's like, oh, the filing won't take very long. Can I go see the lab?
Right.
I really hope, I forget who wrote in last week, but I really hope it's Emma's working for the DVX or at least some other type of.
I would love to see that twist. But either way, they both need better training, because they shouldn't be coming out with what they want that easily without even working it into the conversation like slickly, you know?
Yeah. And I did not like Vaughn telling Joss that she needs to create her own distraction, because it was very obvious what he was suggesting.
Right.
Mm-mm.
No, that's not part of the job. Yuck.
Nope. Not even if, no.
No. Just no.
Just no. What else? Oh, Jason and Drew at the beginning of the week.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was all kind of expected from last week, because Drew's like, you have to help me. And Jason basically told him to go pound salt. Like, no, I'm not doing anything for you. You messed this all up. Stay away from Michael's kids.
Well, and Nina was telling him to say, everyone's telling him.
Right.
Like, how do you not seriously realize that you're the problem?
But
we
that
talked
was
about
where,
that a lot last week.
Yeah, that's why I was wishing that this week. So we saw Willow at the end of the week. Willow.
Oh, that was it.
Yeah, Willow suddenly wants to see Nina because she wants to tell her about them being engaged. And she chooses the pool, and then she gets there and sees Wiley's shirt is left on the chair from his swim lesson. And so she starts freaking out, and Christina comes over and gets the shirt. And Christina was very nice about, I will tell the kids that you said you love them. Like, no one's doubting that Willow loves her kids. She's just making poor choices. So that was sweet. But I really kind of wish that he would have been there, and that she would have made the mistake of saying to Nina and Wiley, like, oh, Drew and I are getting married. And for Wiley to say something like, oh, even though he thinks that daddy doesn't want us anymore, or are you and Drew going to have a baby and then not want us anymore because he thought that daddy wouldn't want us after Daisy, or something like that, to like make her wake up.
There is just something so off, because I know we've talked about it, but when she is obviously depressed.
Yeah.
I mean, she is in a deep, deep depression. He's like, yeah, I went for a run and it was great. And, you know, you just needed your rest. The way that he is just ignoring what's happening to her.
Right.
Is just crazy.
Yeah. And she's like tearing herself apart for all the things that she did wrong that cost her the kids. And he's like, no, it wasn't your fault. It wasn't your fault. It was my fault because I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have done that. But again, he's not giving realistic reasons as to how to repair the relationship. He just throws, oh, we're going to get married. I don't understand how she doesn't see. I mean, I know she's in a depression, but how she doesn't see how manipulative and crazy that is. Like, I'm sorry, my whole world's falling apart. The answer is not to marry the man who caused it to fall apart.
I did like when she said that he needs to stop making her promises he can't keep.
Yes.
And she should not have underestimated Michael because he is so powerful, because the powerful took away, like, it made Drew realize that she thinks Michael's more powerful than him, which is kind of part of this issue. You know, he's trying to be the powerful one. So
is she having a psychotic break and she's the one messing with Daisy, or do we have some other weirdo person?
I don't know. I was trying to figure that out too.
Because we saw at the beginning of the week, they brought Daisy to Sasha, and Sasha was like, this isn't Daisy. Where's my baby? Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. And so then it turned out that somebody had just picked up the wrong baby in the nursery. and they brought her the right kid and all was fine with the world. And then we see her back at the Quartermains put Daisy down for her bedtime, and she doesn't turn on the mobile. She just says goodnight, love you, or whatever. And then she does make a point of saying to Daisy, though, like, I could just stare at you all night through the monitor. And I feel like as a new mom, you kind of do tend to do that, or like every noise that you hear, you look at the monitor. So you're telling me someone snuck into the nursery, like hung out around Daisy long enough to crank, like those things aren't quiet whenever you crank the mobile, and you didn't pick up your phone and look at like who was doing it?
Can I ask a stupid question? Because remember, my youngest is 21.
Uh-huh.
So first of all, I did not have the video monitor, so no, didn't watch it. But could the mobile be accessed through an app?
I mean, I'm sure that there's probably ones somewhere nowadays, but I did not have anything like that. And it didn't look to me like that was what the kind that she had was. It looked like it had like the actual crank to it, like the old school ones.
So
and we definitely saw someone in that room.
I mean, I thought it was messed up when someone just put the baby in the wrong bassinet. And I did like that they added the little detail of the bracelets match, because that is a very important part, that they match mommy and baby.
Right. And Lucas was concerned. He was like, how did this happen? Like, that's not normal.
Yeah. But why did it not occur to me that it would be the same person that was also at the mansion? Didn't occur to me.
I mean, I'm not sure that it was even supposed to be the first person. Maybe they're the same person. Maybe the first time really was just supposed to be an oops mix up. But yeah, at the house, someone was definitely in that room.
But it makes sense.
It would make
the
sense.
Same person.
Yeah, it would. But even if they're not going to play it that way, like there was definitely someone in that room. And we saw Drew at the same time talking to Kai. So it wasn't Drew just messing with Michael and Sasha to be a jerk.
Yeah. I do. When my babies were babies, like the first couple weeks, we had a bassinet in my room, like in our room. I was really surprised, especially given what Sasha has gone through.
Yeah, me too.
That was not her setup.
Right.
I mean, I'm really glad that she feels that comfortable with the cues and safe and everything. But I mean, I felt comfortable and safe where I was. And I'm like, is that just no longer a practice? Is that not something that people do? Because I think it was really only for like the first 2 weeks, because the bassinets, at least back then, they were cute, but they weren't big, you know.
Right. Yeah, I think I mean, as far as I know, that's still just personal preference, because they have like those co-sleeper, they almost look like a pack and play, but they like connect to the bed somewhat so that the baby's not in bed with you, but they're right there next to you so that you can tend to them, that some people use. And then other people believe that, you know, it's best to just put them in their own room from night one to start like sleep training them at that point. Like that's their own space. Yeah. So I agree with you. If I was Sasha, I would be paranoid after what she went through with Liam. And so absolutely, Daisy would be sleeping as close to me as possible, as safe as possible. I guess to have people sneak into the cues, you got to have the baby in a separate room. So
right, but that was just my only. Wait, what?
Well, that's what I was saying about looking at the monitor. I mean, I know, you know, obviously whenever my older ones were babies, we didn't have the video one either. But I remember constantly like listening to it, and you could hear the difference of like, you know, was that a noise that they made because they threw a toy out of their crib, or was that a noise that they made like, oh crap, maybe they got out of their crib, I got to run upstairs and see, or whatever. And so, when Madeline was little, I did have the video one, and yeah, I watched it. I mean, I had a couple miscarriages before her, so I was like scared to death that something bad was going to happen. But I watched it all the time just to make sure that she was still okay. And now they have this.
But that's why I'm saying that about Sasha. Like that was more of mine, because I get it. Like, you know, some people don't, but that's where I was. I was like, with her past and with how much we know.
Right. You would think you should either have the baby co-sleeping or should be watching the monitor constantly.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'd like to know.
I'm assuming what the new thing was when it comes to baby technology, because sometimes I see it. And I mean, I understand, our moms and grandmothers did the same thing when we were having our kids. I didn't have that when we were raising you, and you're fine.
Right. Well, I mean, now they have the sock thingy that can detect the heartbeat and motion.
I
and
know.
Stuff, so they have way better technology than we did with our first ones. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I also just think that it's crazy. Like, I'm assuming the nursery is not on the main floor. So, like, how is anyone even getting into the Quartermains to mess with this baby? Like, Yuri's not just letting people walk in, okay?
No. Oh, but Daisy did meet her great grandmother.
Yeah.
I'm happy about that.
I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I'm not ready to let Monica go, but at the same time, like, we know that she's gone. So,
Yeah. But it's nice that Monica's meeting her newest grandkid and great grandchild, and now she can go.
I agree. I did think it was funny. Emma found that dog and just like announces to Anna, like, I went and saw if he had a chip. He doesn't. I can't find his owner. And Anna's like, well, what are you going to do with him? And she's like, oh, then I'm just going to keep him. And I'm like, really? I think you need to ask the person that you live with if it's okay if you keep that dog.
Probably. But she took a really cute picture of Geo, and that's when Sonny was looking between the two of them like, hey, this is cute.
Yep.
Lulu also talked with Isaiah.
Yes.
And said that she has dug herself in quite a bit of a hole. And now it's not her story to tell.
Right.
Now it's not her story.
Yep.
Jeez.
She's going to respect those people involved suddenly.
Yeah. Oh, Curtis and Tracy and the Jacinda thing and the whole Martin talked to Tracy and she said that she would give Drew back his name if he drops the charges. And again, reiterating, how do you guys think that I would have done this and not, she's like, what did she say? She's like, I don't like apologizing when I am guilty or when I did do something.
Yep. The Quartermains need to get some ring cameras between this Daisy stuff and Drew stuff. Like, there should be evidence showing what happened.
Yes. And I guess he wants her to hold a press conference.
Right. To say that she was wrong.
Yeah. And then she was like, heck no, I'm not. And Curtis, she talked with Curtis too.
Mm-hmm.
About.
Yeah, they're like working together somehow with it. Because in the end, she finally did say, I'll go ahead and perjure myself to Martin. And I was like, why? Yeah, there has to be a better way.
There does. Oh, the thing that we didn't talk about with Nina and Ava was that Nina's really curious. Like, should she tell Willow now? And Ava did bring up a good point. Not in her mental state right now.
Mm-hmm. Right. She brought up what we said before of like, if you do this and it alienates you from Willow, but Willow is still dumb enough to believe everything Drew says, all you're doing is leaving her with the only option of leaning on Drew. And that's going to make it even worse.
Right.
I hate to agree with Ava, but she is right.
How can you hate to agree with Ava?
Because again, like you said earlier, their friendship is still just weird.
Right. But Ava by herself.
Yes, she gives good advice.
I mean, for the ex-gangster turned art dealer, she's fine.
Yes, I'll agree with you there. But I'm sorry, if you cut my baby out of my stomach, I don't care how nice or how much good advice you start giving. We are not going to be friends.
We forgot to talk about Carly and Brennan.
Oh, because that was just stupid.
She gave him an engraved pipe wrench.
Yeah.
And said something about how, why did she say that her kids are because it was a thank you for everything he did for Michael. And, that was the other thing. We'll get there. Anna and Brennan. Forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
But Carly's like, the kids are my most important. They're the most important thing to me. And, he gets that look like, oh, shoot, what have I done? Dude, you don't mess with a mom.
Right. So, I don't know. I don't have a problem with Brennan and Carly, except for the fact that it's weird that Joss is in the WSB and she's not supposed to know and whatever. But I feel like they just give us these tidbits of them like, oh my gosh, Brennan, you're so wonderful. And I don't think that that's how Carly would behave. Like, she can be all mushy with someone, but not quite so out in public about it. I mean, she's a grown woman. She's had quite a few marriages, men, whatever. I just don't see her being so, I don't know, mushy when it comes to him. It's just weird.
It is. Because he's not, okay, previous Brennan was.
Yes.
This is a different.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. I know that this guy is like a known actor, like he's established and everything. I'm feeling nothing in this role.
Right. He just doesn't present himself as available as the other actor did. Like, it seemed like
There's no passion.
Right. He really liked Carly. So he would be kind of mushy too. Like, it's different if it's reciprocated. He just seems still kind of like standoffish. And she's like, oh my God, you're amazing. And I'm like, oh God, please stop.
Like, this guy would not slam the door shut and kiss her.
Right.
Not the way that the other one did.
Mm-mm. No, I agree with you.
But Anna is on the phone with the patrolman and asks a patrolman Jennings and asks if he has his eyes on the person, and then asks him to issue code 169.2. And so I Googled it, and it is booting of an improperly parked motor vehicle.
Ah, okay.
And so Brennan comes in and they talk about, he tells her that there's like 2 different contractors that were trying to take out Sonny in the past 6 months, and that he thinks that Sonny is connected to someone that has like super dangerous connections. And then Anna was like, oh, by the way, did you look into Dalton? And he's like, yeah, there's nothing there. How are you going to lie like that to Anna Devane? To Anna?
Right. I feel like that is the point where if I was trying to cover something up, that I would give little things like, besides some parking tickets and, breaking a contract with the school one time, like there's nothing or something. He's completely clean. Really?
Well, and you have to assume that she knows something, and that's why she's even asking you to look into him.
Right.
So why lie?
Yep. And again, if he's trying to pretend like he's all about Carly, it only makes sense that Anna would be like, oh, hey, so Emma has an interest in this guy because of his class, and your girlfriend's daughter is interning for this guy or whatever, work studying for this guy. So shouldn't you be doing like a really thorough investigation? And then for him to come up with some, minor stuff would totally make sense. And instead he's just like, oh no, he's perfectly clean.
But that's because he's working with him, and he is the dangerous guy that he's referencing.
Yep.
Yeah, he is totally part of this, and I can't figure out why. I don't think we're going to like it.
No, we're not.
But, I mean, so is he with Sidwell then?
I don't know. It's like they keep connecting them just enough that you think that they are, but then they're still not connected enough to make it make sense.
Yeah.
Because if that was the case, I feel like he would have discussed with Sidwell the custody case, and it would have been him who was telling Carly, like, oh, I talked to the judge and influenced this for your son.
Yeah. Brennan could have said that
I'd be taking credit there, trying to stay in Carly's good graces if she was my girlfriend.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
So I don't know. It might be a good point, but unfortunately, it still doesn't get me a step closer to the answer because I'm confused.
But no, I mean, that would make sense if, I don't know. Because then it was Dalton's car.
Mm-hmm.
That was the one that was booted, right?
Right.
Because, that was the thing is Joss was copying his phone.
Yes.
So that's what she was doing in his office. And, she's really getting good at her job. She put a piece of paper over his phone. I'm sorry.
Right? Exactly. And people are way too connected to their phones nowadays.
That's what I was thinking.
Doing business. If I go to walk out of my house and I realize I don't have my phone, I like retrace my steps and move whatever mail I was just looking at or whatever to find it. Dalton's just going to be like, oh, I gave one scan of the desk and don't see it. I must not have it in here.
Right. Especially if you're doing messed up stuff.
Right.
And does she think that he's just going to have a folder labeled
Right.
top secret project
Exactly.
on
Bad
his
animal
share drive
testing.
of the university.
Yep.
Honey, there is probably a folder within the folder within the folder, and it's probably labeled cat pictures
Right.
or homemade recipes,
Yep.
mom's recipes. It's not going to say
Oh, that's funny.
dastardly deeds on it, Dalton's dastardly deeds.
Do you and JD share a computer? Because I would really like you to put an icon on your shared computer that says Shannon's Dastardly Deeds to see how long it takes him to read it and be like, what in the heck are you doing?
We have a shared Google Drive. So.
Please do that.
Or I'll make my open if JD kills me.
Right.
He would not like that, guys. I am honest to goodness just joking. Like, that really isn't funny.
No, but you could do untimely death. You don't need to accuse him.
Yeah. So Brennan's just getting caught in more lies. So is Dalton. Oh, and Alexis visited Liz and was like, so Laura wants me to look into your case to see if there's details.
I wanted Liz to tell her, listen, Alexis, I know what you're here for. I know that Christina did it. I'm not going to tell anyone. So just reassure Laura. I have not told her. Reassure her that this case shouldn't go anywhere and let it be. I didn't like the fact that she just let Alexis go through this whole story that she didn't need to go through and then called Christina.
I did love that she called Christina, though.
I love that she called Christina. I just wish that she would have said something to Alexis.
Well, and then Christina's like, if you guys had died, I was going to fess up. She's like, I would have been dead.
Right. That doesn't do anything for us. Thanks.
I think that was it. Oh, Trina talking to Joss about how she feels about this whole Kai Drew thing. That was sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, did you pick up on who Wiley was talking to at the pool?
The swim coach?
Yeah.
Her name is Amanda?
Yeah.
Was she supposed to be somebody?
Amanda. That's your name. That's your name.
Thank you for that. Yes, it is my name. I'm glad that we have. It's actually kind of ironic that it's a swim coach because I can't swim. So that's a little terrifying. You don't want me as your swim coach because you will drown. But I do like that we have a Shannon and an Amanda.
Well, but Shannon's not cast, and they replaced her with Madison.
I know, but you don't really know how long Amanda's going to be around either. It was just nice that she was acknowledged.
You at least had a person. I'm a ghost. All right. No, I love that, though, because at first I was like, did he really just say that? And then they're like, say bye to Amanda. Bye, Amanda.
Bye, Wiley. I hope you enjoyed your swim class.
I do think that's funny. You can't swim, and that's what...
Cannot swim. Nope.
I am not a fashionista. I would definitely make a good assistant, but I'm not a fashionista, so I should not be an assistant to a fashion.
True.
I can learn it. All you have to do is be organized.
I mean...
I did not mean that as that's all you need to do. I just mean that...
No, you already have the assistance skills. You would just need to acquire the fashion
knowledge
skills
of the industry.
Right. And if you wanted that position, you would put the time into getting that knowledge.
Correct. That is exactly what I meant.
I will never have the knowledge to be a swim coach because, nope. So, sorry.
That's okay.
You can blame my sister for that because I swear she tried to drown me when I was younger. So,
you want to get into your reality check and tell us more about that one?
Reality check.
It is actually kind of funny because my sister was on vacation this week. She went to Tennessee. She just bought a Bronco, and they have like a class that you can take at their facilities where they teach you how to like off-road with your Bronco correctly so that you're not damaging it. which is really funny because my sister is
That is
not.
so cool.
Yeah, but it's really funny because my sister is not someone who would off road and who was like scared of lots of things. So it was neat to like see her husband put some of the videos up to see her like driving in this manner, but I can't ever see her doing it again. But they stopped there and then they went down to South Carolina and they did all kinds of different touristy things in South Carolina, which was funny because we used to live in South Carolina and we never did like any of that stuff. So she kept texting me, asking me, did you go here? Did you do this? Well, and I was like, no, okay. I went to school. I went to the grocery store. I babysat. Like I did not do those things. But before we moved to South Carolina, we went on vacation to Myrtle Beach, and the hotel that we stayed at was beachfront, but then it also had a pool. But because it was beachfront, most people didn't go to the pool. And so there was a day that her and I were at the pool, just the two of us, and there was no lifeguard. And she decided that the way that she was going to teach me to swim was just by taking me into the 12 feet and like letting me go. And I was terrified. And so I like grabbed onto her for life and ended up pulling her under. So if you ask her, I was trying to drown her because I was using her as like my lifeboat. But really, it was the fact that she just like left me in the middle of this pool ready to die. So that instilled my fear of drowning. And so I never wanted to be in water that I couldn't like have total control in. So even whenever I got to high school and they had swim lessons, I made up an excuse to not have to take those classes. So no, I had a very nice doctor that wrote an excuse for me that said the chlorine hurt my eyes, so I didn't have to take it. So, but that was why
One of my sisters is actually allergic to the chlorine. But like if you go into like an indoor pool, she can't like she would swell, so she got out of it for that.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we said it hurt my eyes, so I didn't have to take swim lessons. But it's like it hasn't really been an issue other than like taking the kids swimming. I always make sure I have some other adult with me that can save their life because I can't. But yeah, so it's Val's fault that I don't know how to swim because she tried to drown me in South Carolina. So that's that. But she had a nice vacation, which is nice. So that was good. And then I was kind of left by myself this week. Like I mentioned last week, like everybody was gone and my brother was gone doing stuff for work and then my sister was gone and my mom got really sick. So I had to be like the grown up, which I do not like doing whenever it comes to my mom. So she was in the hospital all week being treated for pneumonia and being close to heart failure because her blood work was like all over the place. And now she's in a assisted living facility. So I would appreciate any prayers or good thoughts or whatever spiritual, whatever our listeners believe in to come this way for my mom because it's kind of freaking me out. This is the first experience that we've had with that. But they're making it sound like, you know, with some rehabilitation, she'll get her strength back and be fine. So that's what we're hoping for. And then
and you guys did good research and you talked to people who are in the industry and got their opinions and everything for where to put her. So, I mean, you definitely did really good due diligence.
Well, thank you. I tried to. It's so hard. Like, you know, you hear so many horror stories of those facilities, but you know that, you know, it's like anything else. One person could have a great experience and the next person could have an awful one, depending on, you know, what was going on with their loved one. So I feel like I made the right choice from, you know, today was her first day there, so it's a very limited experience, but I feel like we made the right choice. And then besides that, this was the week that Madeline volunteered at the local church camp that a lot of our kids in the area do. And she's a part of work crew now that she's old. So she worked her little butt off, but she had fun. So yeah, that was that. Anyway, so what is your reality check?
It was kind of our first real week of summer now, but it's not just summer, it's new life with whatever is going to go on with my daughter. So we're just trying to figure out all that. She took her first photography lesson this week, but because supports have been altered, the cost, it's because, you know, it's not like school and it's not where we can just, in the past, they would have done private lessons because that would help her gain the skills for a vocation.
Right.
But now they would rather us waste $10,000-$15,000 on community college rather than $5,000 on private lessons. And that's a semester. Like that's a year at community college,
Right.
of classes that she wouldn't like. Just
That's
all that.
ridiculous. Yeah.
It's a good time, especially when we have been working on this since she was 14 for everything to change when she finally is there. It's not stressful at all.
Do you want me to start putting some boots on people's cars?
Yes, please. But no, I mean, it was good. I think I forgot to say that my son's been working at a warehouse. He started working there right before we went on vacation. So, I mean, he's still looking for his job in animation, but he is working Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30, working in a warehouse. So keep him busy.
Good.
I feel like Karen Reed was found not guilty. That was the highlight of my week. What else? Nothing really. I mean, we've had really crummy weather. I'm definitely looking forward to this weekend because it should be nice weather to finally get outside.
Yeah, says you because you have a pool. It's too hot. I'm like, I don't want this weather. I just want to be inside in my air conditioning.
Well, how horrible was it? I was in the pool at the end of April, which was crazy.
Right.
But I haven't been in it at all in June.
Yep.
So I'm ready for it. What else did I do? I didn't even write anything down.
We are so boring.
I know. Remember, it's the whole, some weeks we do a lot, some weeks we don't. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that was really probably the highlight was her starting the photography lessons and just, trying to, we joined the gym. So we're going to start next week with getting up and going to the gym. Starting off with twice a week is our goal.
Nice.
So that we're not over committing to begin with. So yeah, just trying to figure out the new life.
Yeah.
I can't even think of how to transition that into to join us on Thursday as we talk about how Lucky and Jason save Liz and Sam from a car that should have plummeted so many times. And a whole bunch of other stuff that happened too, but that's really the highlight.
All right. So with that, have a good week.
And we'll meet you at the pier.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to pier54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review.
And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Pier 54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at pier54podcast@gmail.com.
Because every penny counts. I travel further for less with the Hopper ticket.
Because making memories is important. I can afford to take the whole family on the bus or tram with family travel cards.
Because getting to work should be simple. I tap and go with contactless, so I'll be charged the best fare for the week all month.
The B Network is committed to keeping public transport affordable. Find out more at bnetwork.com/because. Because it's your B Network.